Oh my God. Hey, everybody. Thank you so much for joining our channels because we're streaming this to both channels. I have Lori with The Way of Positive Change here. I'm Susan Lynn. If you're on Lori's channel, we really appreciate you joining us today. There's a lot going on. We're going to help you with it. We're going to dissect it. We're going to dive in and we're going to hopefully get some good information. How are you doing, Lori?
I'm doing great, but I'm, on pins and needles like everybody else. What is this eclipse going to bring? The trajectory over it goes, the actual line in the astrology and the astrocartography that you were talking about goes right over Washington, D.C. So, and it affects quite a few different prominent people's astrology. So I'm wondering about that. And everybody keeps asking, is he dead yet? When is that
I don't know about you, but I ask that every day to my spirit guides. They're tired of me asking. They're like, please, for the love of God, stop asking that.
Right.
I'm like, well, make it happen. I won't have to ask you no more.
Exactly.
Wow.
Yeah. Everybody's, concerned, but saying prayers and trying to hold their positive energy and help your neighbor. Pray with the monks tomorrow. I think the monks that are marching, I think it's 4:30 Eastern. I think they're doing that big world prayer. So that would be
really
7:30 Pacific.
Really? So tomorrow they're doing a world prayer. Now, are they in DC yet? Isn't that the final destination?
I don't know where they are. I just know because I'm a cat mom sent me the information.
Oh, nice. That's nice.
Yeah, somebody from the chat sent it to me.
And thank you, Tina Marie, for that super chat. Okay, well, that's cool. Well, I love that. I love that the monks are showing us the way, right? They're not traveling on air-conditioned heated buses. They're out walking in this weather. And I think that gives me strength. If they can do it, if they can be discomforted and do it for all the right reasons, then I can live through some discomfort too. Albeit nothing like really what they're going through.
Yeah, it looks like from the people that are on your channel, they're saying they made it to DC. They have arrived.
Okay, so that's why they're doing the prayer.
Yeah, 4:30, 4:30 Eastern, 1:30 Pacific.
Right. Okay, that's awesome. So we should all tune in, and even if you only can tune in for a minute, right? It's fine. But they're doing some heavy lifting for us, so I'm thrilled. I'm thrilled about that. I'm really happy that they've got there safely, and I'll be even happier. I hate to say it, when they're out of the United States safely. When they complete this whole mission.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's start with, before we went live, Lori was talking to me about Cuba. Now, if you watch me, you will have heard me talk about how I thought he, and we know who I'm talking about, wanted to do regime change in Cuba. And Lori was just letting me know that recent developments that the Orange Cretin has said to Cuba, you're not getting any more oil, and we're going to forbid Mexico to send oil to you too. This is like cutting off their food or something. I mean, this is not a small thing. This is a big thing. And I was saying to Lori, I'm surprised that Mexico went along with that, but I definitely feel this feels like what I saw him doing. Like, he likes to pressure people until they break, or he thinks they're going to break. But what do you think is going to happen, Lori, with that?
Well, he pressured the president of Mexico that if they didn't stop sending oil to Cuba, then they would tear the hell out of them. So she has paused it. I can't remember her name right this very second, but she's paused. So they are not getting any oil in, none from Venezuela, none from Mexico, none. And so their jet airliners shut down first. So they will not, the airport as of yesterday will be closed. Because they cannot, and the kerosene supplies are very low. So there's just not enough fuel to even, commercial airlines is a no, right
Right. That's Barb Will just said. Canadians can't fly to Cuba because there's not enough fuel for the planes. This man is just wrecking not only our country, but basically the whole world, right? Like that's what he seems to be angling for. Now, when I read on this a while back, I got that he wanted Cuba because it's absolutely stunningly beautiful beaches, and that's what he cares about. And he wanted to just put hotels or condos or just the same thing he's doing in Gaza, right? That's why he wants it, and I'm sure you could convince the military that this is it's too close. This country is too close to us. You remember we went through all this, right? With in the 50s. They're not a threat. They're not a threat. That's just ridiculous. They're the least. Our threat is in 1600 Pennsylvania. That's the biggest threat that we have is actually the president. So do you feel like, I mean, do you get a sense? Do you feel like this is, you're saying Mexico has agreed to pause it. They haven't agreed to stop it, but they have agreed to pause it. To me, that means she's trying to buy time, and she's trying to find allies. Like I feel like China could come in some way.
It could, but he's struggling too. He is oft
Yeah,
for
you mentioned him too.
taking out the heads of the military. And so now Trump is going there in April, and he's saying that he's going to buy our soybeans and that he's going to renege and just get rid of the tariffs. And so I don't even know if China will honor. Xi Jinping is in so much trouble because the military is trying to oust him, the CCP or something. And I don't even know if Xi Jinping will keep his agreement with Canada.
Right. Right. Now, all this, I'm saying a statement, but I'm actually asking a question. All this is predicated on the Orange Cretan still drawing air. You know what I mean? Like once he's out of the picture, don't you feel like all of this is now up for renegotiation?
Yes.
Okay. But it is scary that he could get China. It's, how does he have this power, right? Like it's like magic or some black magic, dark magic,
Yeah, but
evil magic.
Xi is in trouble. He's not stable. He is not in a good place. And he has to show that he has Trump in his pocket, or because he's meeting with Trump and then with Putin right after, because he's trying to make a show like, well, I have it. I'm still the ruler. I'm still in the lead. I still have the ability to meet with the other world leaders. You really need to put your trust and faith in me.
Right.
So yeah. But Marco Rubio has wanted Cuba for a long time.
Right. That's another thing, right? So if and it's messed up. I'm not saying I agree with this, but I'm saying that, like Lori is saying, Marco Rubio, and then we know Floridians, there's a lot of Cuban Americans or Cubans in Florida, and they would love nothing more than their country to turn democratic, and then they could visit it again, right? Like that is their, I think, most fervent wish. So this would be a big win, actually, for those communities, and it would get those communities back on board the Republican train.
Yes, that would help them, except they're very against. Florida's starting to turn purple because Miami now has a Democratic mayor for the first time, and I don't know how many.
That's true.
So there are many Republicans here that are, or there are many Latino people here that are very unhappy with,
right.
With the ICE problems.
Right, and they're even deporting Cubans. I mean, there's no law, there's nothing that has any semblance of law here. So yeah, so this is interesting. Well, what is your feeling about it? Do you feel like you're feeling? It feels like you're feeling like China, like Xi Jinping, could crumble.
He's in trouble. If Trump helps him, he probably, if he can prove that he's still can wheel and deal and has Putin in and Trump comes in, then so Trump actually has Xi, under
That's
some
insane.
little bit. It is insane.
That's insane.
Didn't expect it, but that's what's happening.
That's insane.
Yeah.
It's just crazy because China was in big trouble when Biden was president. China was in big trouble. Like that was like they were getting ready to crater. And then when Trump came in, I think Xi got a boost, but apparently it might not be enough, right? Like it just might not be enough, or the threat is just too big for him, right? Like the threat of the United States tariffing, and people know, countries know that he'll do it. He will do it. He's not bluffing about that. He might change his mind, Taco, but he will do it.
Right. I hope, I feel that dream that I had with my angels really felt that, that we signed up for a year of this. So, but the year was technically up January 20th. So we have to be right at the precipice. We've got to be right there, literally. Because even if Trump was upended with his overreach and he's up over his skis for sure, if he gets stopped, then they're going to say, well, he was only in office for a year and days. So we have to be really, really, really close.
Which brings us to the eclipse. So I have an astrologer. I'm dropping a video tomorrow that she talks about this, and yeah, this is big. This eclipse could be the finale of him. And eclipses, the energy is not necessarily just all on that day. It can affect people a month or even 2 months later. But I didn't know what you were talking about, that the actual path of the eclipse is going right over the White House. That makes me so happy.
Yeah, it goes right over the southern tip of Florida. The very, very, like just part of the Keys, just to the west of Miami, and then it goes straight up. In the astrocartography, just goes straight up, and so it goes right over Washington D.C. So, and it will affect Vance and Trump and other people that are fixed signs that have their other people that are fixed signs that are on the last degrees of those fixed signs. Who's the astrologer that you're having tomorrow? Is it Dabney?
Dabney Lawless. Yeah. Dabney Lawless. She's great, and she does go into this. So watch that video when it drops tomorrow, because she really this is what she's saying, is this is the end. Like this is the end of these people, because this energy is just, it's ending energy, and it's right over them and their power, their all those things, right?
It will make change.
It'll make change. So I think you're right too. I think that, unfortunately, our spirit guides in universe, they don't use clocks, so it's not, yes, I think we're close, maybe it's a year and a month, maybe it's a year and 5 days or something, right? Whatever, but it's, it's okay. It's going to happen.
It's going to happen. Yeah. And then it can affect them, for months. Pre and post. Yeah.
Yes. Pre and post, right? Pre and post. So, and I just feel like there's so much ritualistic weirdness that they're doing. We know that the rituals show up on the e-files. I think they're doing not so much 45, but some of those people in that place are doing ritualistic magic. And I think that he's going to exit in some sort of ritualistic situation. I can't get too specific, but that you guys understand what I'm saying. Are you pulling cards? What are you pulling cards on?
It's fully just on what we're talking about and him and the eclipse. And so it is full of drama and opposition. And he has to take a rest or a respite, or he has a problem, and unknown. We don't know what it is, and unseen, but things that, like the Queen of Cups, like you has been talking about, and he goes down.
So
And
I have a question for you. I want to know, what do you feel about JD? Because some energy suggests that he doesn't make it to the White House, or if he does make it, he's not there long. What is your feeling about it?
if he makes it, he will not be there long because he just doesn't have it.
No,
He just
he
doesn't
doesn't
have
have
it.
it.
No. Yeah.
I agree. I agree. I've always seen that too. I think they're gonna come for him. He could be the scapegoat, like,
Mhm.
because we are coming for them, and they're gonna need to give us something, right? Like they're gonna have to throw somebody into the bus. And I feel like it's gonna be him. Have you ever gotten that we are rudderless, like the spirit guides are saying right now, that we could be rudderless in the sense that we don't have a government, or we have a coalition government, or there's some question mark about what is the government or who is the government?
Yeah, we could have a little space. He definitely, JD Vance will definitely get thrown into this somehow. He definitely goes into the place somehow, but he isn't liked. He isn't well received. He isn't going to become the leader of Turning Point USA with Erica either. And
Mhm. Yeah.
so there's just a giant problem. He has a huge cloud over his head, and he'll be in there, but not very long.
Right, not very long.
No.
Let me ask you this question. Have you gotten, or even have you looked at, could there be a presidential election in 2026?
Oh, okay. Let me look at that. What are you, and you're feeling it? Are you feeling it?
The guides keep saying a snap. I don't I need to look it up, but they call it a snap election. I don't know if that has a real like meaning, or if that's a real thing, but they are telling me, and this is not set in stone, but this is a potential. So there's multiple potentials depending on free will. But I think one of the potentials is we could have some kind of snap election.
Yeah, I get that this is absolutely very possible. Yeah, I think so, but it's caused by strength. It's caused by
That makes sense. By a tower and death. And
death, and then coming up with, all right, who's the next person? Let's
I'm
call it.
telling you guys, let's
Yeah,
talk about that for a minute, because yeah, snap election, like snap decision, T-Barb, yeah, I get it. So if we had a snap election, I mean, you can only imagine what shape the United States would have to be in, right? For people to wrap their head around.
yeah,
And I don't even, I'm not sure, but I don't think it happens during the midterm elections in November, but it could. I mean, it would make sense, but I'm not sure that it does.
yeah. Well, I have the strength card, which is the Leo card. So maybe
August?
in August,
Whoa.
late July into August.
Yep,
Uh,
yep, 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 yep. Oh
but
my God, in July.
yeah, yeah. But this usually means it takes a little bit, and we have to wrestle the lion. But it usually means it's going to be a little bit. Yeah.
So it takes more effort. I mean, the only other thing is, and this is something else the guides have said too, is that we they showed me this scenario where we say we don't even need a president. We don't like it. It didn't work out. It's like, we're fine. Just let that be open, and we'll self-govern, and we'll be nice to each other. It's almost like we don't need a teacher. We can, we don't need a babysitter. It's almost that energy of, thanks, but you take your time. We don't even care. We don't even care if it's not filled. Isn't that bizarre?
Yeah, and it might get so crazy and so rowdy that they might just pick an independent, someone
Yes.
like Angus, what's his name, from Maine or something,
Yeah.
is it King? Somebody,
Amy
some,
King, something like
yeah,
that, right? Or
yeah,
Massey, but see, you're saying they're going to pick a Republican. I mean, that guy is an independent. Angus is an independent.
yes, he's an independent in
Angus
Maine.
King.
King, yeah. But they're definitely, when Trump goes down and he can't make it down the stairs or around the corner or from a walker or whatever he's doing. JD Vance will have to be in there to some extent, but then I mean, that's the law, right? The law is he has to
Right.
step in. But
Succession. That's the succession.
Going to be a huge fight. There's going to be just a giant, almost like a riot.
Because he takes over. And when you feel this energy, is this the citizens rioting, or is this Congress, or is this all the above? Like the whole
everybody, nothing's going to make sense. It's going to be like we've never
chaos.
seen it before. It's just going to be total chaos. Yeah.
I want to keep talking about this, but here's an interesting question that Rose Blue has Kamala named as Speaker of the House succession, because you don't have to be, you can be the speaker without being in the House, right? Like, remember when 45 said he wanted to be the speaker? I don't even know. They talk crazy. Do you want to pull a card on that? I feel like my thing about Kamala, when I go into her energy, she wants to do everything by the book. She wants everything to be as normal as possible. So I don't think she would take it. I think she wants to wait until she can run for president when it's time to run for president. Not even sure she would run if we had a snap election. People would want her to, but I think she already feels like she got shafted doing this crazy last minute stuff, right?
Yeah, she doesn't want to be, she just feels like
she doesn't want it.
Stolen and the thief, the foxes in the hen house, and she's just gonna hold her own. I don't think she's going in.
I don't blame her. She doesn't owe us anything, really. She really doesn't. She got screwed. So I want to ask this question about JD, because 357 Beagle, I love talking to you, Lori. We got to do this more often. So how is JD going to go? I mean, I agree with you. I see all the same things you're seeing, right? Like I see it. I think one of the potentials is that this is all breaking open right now. As we know, the files are just getting bigger and bigger. Now Europe is going after people and investigating people. And I feel like that breaks open about the time that 45 goes wherever he goes, whether it's whatever happens to him, I don't care. I mean, it could be the 25th Amendment, or he could go to the great hamburger shop in the sky. But how do we get rid of JD?
Well, I mean, if we get that Elon did the Starlink thing, then they're not legit, then it wouldn't,
treason.
He wouldn't be placed there.
Treason. And then we can get rid of the whole cabinet.
Yep. Then he just has to, they say, okay, maybe he can come in, but then he's got to go. This doesn't work. This doesn't work. So he's a no. Even if they say you're going in, because we're going to find out what they did.
That's what I think, right? Like, it breaks open. It's pretty bad. Trump goes, and then it just gets worse. And then we can't look away. And then I don't know how we go about putting in the, how do we go about getting rid of somebody for treason? I don't know what the guidelines are, whether that's a congressional thing or a court thing or a cabinet. It can't be a cabinet thing because the whole cabinet's going to go down. But I feel like by then, this feels, this feels like July to me. What does it feel like to you when he's gone?
Yeah, could definitely be when this, but hopefully when France raided Elon Musk's headquarters, they're going to find something out about the Starlink link, to the point where he says, oh, you won. They just don't know it yet. I mean, Trump told everybody, even in his
continue to do so.
Yeah. I mean, he always tells. He always tells on himself, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And he's going to make so much of a big problem with the Fulton County thing, and then just drag that all up to this nonsense. And he's just going to be, the overreach will just be so huge that somehow the Supreme Court is going to have to knock him back, put him back in the box.
Right. It's going to be them or him. I mean, they're going to choose them. They're not going to choose him.
They will when it comes down to it.
When it comes down to it, like that kind of level of, so that is fascinating. So that's what I think. I think one of the biggest energy is, like somebody said, tribunals. I've always seen tribunals, but I think that he is disqualified or something. I guess the other option is that we could impeach and convict him, impeach him in the House and convict him in the Senate and remove him. But then we have Miller's, whoever, Rubio, the cabinet is still the cabinet, I think. And then we would have to, then my next question for you is, and look, I'm going to tell you guys right now, I'm about to say something that's really horrible, but we all have to do what we have to do. Mike Johnson is the speaker. Is he going to be anywhere near the White House?
But he was named.
I can't handle it, y'all. I cannot. It's gone too far. Okay, it's just gone too far.
But he was named speaker because Trump got in there.
Yes.
So if Trump,
but he's next in line. He's succession.
Yes, he will. Okay, so will speaker?
I can't even ask the question.
Mike Johnson, will he become the next president?
Y'all,
even temporarily.
I can't. I don't know. I can't, y'all. I've been through too much.
No. He'll just be like Elf on the Shelf. They'll just put him up there for, like just a little
can't, bit. Lori, I can't. I just can't. My God. All right. Anyway, JD would have to pick his VP approved by Congress.
No, he's just going to be sitting there watching. He's going to be watching this all unfold. He can't get anything. He can't get it up. He can't do it. No, it's not happening. Nope.
There's no couch. There's no couch in the Oval Office. So he's like, forget it. Okay.
Maybe MAGA Mike. I just don't think that that whole section will just be deemed not viable because they didn't really win. When they find out Starlink. Yeah.
That is a thing. That is the prominent energy right now. Like, but there are multiple possibilities depending on people's free will, right? But that feels like what's happening. Like, so that's how we end up with a snap election. That's how we get there, right? Is like, and I think it's interesting. And listen, this is a very good possibility that 45 goes, the whole thing goes at once. I'm not 100% sure it's written in concrete. I think it's still a little shifty. Go ahead.
Yeah, he could actually go in for a couple of days. I mean, they might keep him there just to maybe try to maintain calm.
Right.
Yeah. So, but it would just be short-lived.
Which we've always seen. All of us are in agreement that if he goes in there, it's a very short period of time. Very interesting. This is fascinating. I would say that even though at this point we're all saying we've seen it all now, right? Like I feel like I've seen it all, but we haven't. I want to tell you guys we have not seen it all because this eclipse and these other things that are happening are going to be big game changers, huge game changers. And I don't think even as much as we can see into the future, I think we will be somewhat surprised by how it actually falls together.
I'm sure we're going to be surprised. Yeah.
Wow, that is fascinating. I can't talk about Liz Cheney. You want me to go from talking about Mike Johnson and then to Liz Cheney? You guys are like, this is killing me. What are your thoughts about Liz Cheney? People know she triggers me.
I just don't see that she's in a position for that. I think they're going to try to go for a neutral person, like an independent that's already in Congress somewhere, like that Angus King or somebody. So it's got to be an independent because there would just be too much of a big fight.
Right.
It would have to be a neutral person. So Liz Cheney, will she become speaker?
Or anything, or place of power.
Or placed in power. No.
Thank God, Lori. Okay, same card Mike Johnson got.
Same one. She'll be watching.
So
yeah, Bernie's independent. Angus is independent. A lot of people would accept Bernie taking over for a little bit, a few days, month, 2 months.
But I don't think the Republicans would. I mean, they've branded him as a socialist, and then people
Yeah.
will freak out that we're now a socialist country. You don't see, so this snap election, let's go back to that for a second. Do you see like what do you call that? A primary? Do you see like where hey, put your hat in the ring and we'll open it up to 6 people, or God knows, I think we're going to open it up to more. They just said no, it's going to be like 10 or 12, but we could have a primary where we all vote for the person or 2 people, and then, like one for each party.
Yeah. All right. So I asked about a primary and I get a yes.
Okay. That's a yes. Okay. So it could just be that that it could even be that we do have a time where there's no president because we have to arrange for a primary and we have to go through that process. That's not a maybe the primary is in August, and then we add the presidential ticket to the midterms. Wouldn't that be wild?
It would be wild. Yeah, it's definitely going to be chaotic until they can get somebody neutral. It's going to have to be a neutral person or a few people, 2, like you said, 2 from each side or something like that.
I've seen coalition government. I've seen our government changing to a coalition, a parliament. So I don't know. I don't know if that's going to happen this year, because I think we just have to settle the country down. We have to find some kind of just calm things down for a while so that we can figure out what happened. We don't even know what happened. We don't even know how impacted we are. We don't know that, right? And we need time to be able to assess, what's been stolen from us, literally money stolen from the, US
Yeah.
citizens, and our data, and how do we go back and protect? Like, one of the things I saw this a year at least ago, that our social security numbers have been already stolen 1,000 times. We're going to get new IDs. We're going to get some sort of new version of an ID each person. We're going to have to start over on so many different levels.
Yeah, because of Doge.
Because of Doge and Palantir and all the things that are happening. I mean, it's just crazy.
Yeah, it's gonna be quite a process, and it will be like we've never experienced. People just masked people jumping out of cars, pointing their guns at whomever they choose, they choose.
No.
Yeah.
No. Breaking your window, dragging you out of your house. And then now they're pretending to be other people. They were dressing up as National Guard. They've dressed up in my community. Thank God I haven't seen them, because y'all all know I'm going to prison. And I promise you, I cannot do videos from prison, but I will have a prison ministry. I will. But anyway, all them prisoners would be talking to the spirit guides. Like, they'd be like, we know what's on dinner for Wednesday, and we're boycotting. But anyway, they were coming in my community dressed as like people from the natural gas, like the gas company,
No,
and
they
knocking
weren't.
on doors. And
They
people
weren't.
were calling the gas company, and they were like, we don't have no people in your neighborhood. It was ice. It's
Wow.
absolutely insane. It's insane what is happening to us right now. So let's talk about Minneapolis really quickly, because somebody wrote in the comments before we went live, on my post, that Walls has said that he has reason to believe that those thugs are going to be removed. Not all of them, but a good number of them.
Okay.
In the near future, like in the next week or something.
How's he doing that?
He's not doing it. He says I didn't, this is what somebody wrote. So I haven't seen this, but he's saying the government is going to remove them. Now, what that means to me is that the courts are starting to, rule against this, because we need an adult somewhere to say this is illegal. Right. Even if you're the federal government, this is illegal.
Right, because Homan said he would only draw down the 700 if the protesting stopped and if they stopped impeding their progress.
That's not going to happen.
No.
I mean, they're not going to stop protesting, and they're not going to stop impeding the process, their progress.
Will they
So do
pull
you see, so the question is, do you see
out
any reduction in the thugs in whatever time frame?
anytime soon? All right. They're still there for a little bit. And they're going to try to illuminate who they are, like a little bit more about who's where. And then I do feel like they will have to leave. They will have to leave. They will not get everything that they wanted. They will have to leave. So that's good. But it takes a little bit.
It takes longer than we think. I think it takes longer than we think it's going to take, and we may be dismayed because we lose hope, right?
People are starting to lose hope.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. People,
I don't blame them. Look, Minneapolis is, if you guys aren't reading the like social media things from there, it's just absolutely unimaginable. Like one of the things I said in my last video was people are obviously these are white people because everybody else is terrified to go out of their house regardless of their citizenship status. So they go to like the pantry, they get the food or the soap, or I mean, I'm telling you basic things. They get the address, and the address is not on their cell phone, it's on a piece of paper, because if they get stopped, they have to eat the paper. This is where we are. It's absolutely unimaginable.
And I do not feel that I feel that there are going to strongly feel that there are going to be more people of color, Black people, especially since they're going after Somalian and Haitian people. And I just feel like it isn't going to be safe.
They're using that excuse to just go after anybody, right? Like, I don't know you're not Haitian. I don't know that you're not Somalian, right? I mean, how do I know, right? It's just insane, really, truly insane. But let me ask you this question. So you all, I'm not promising anything, but really and truly the energy is lining up that this could all blow up in their faces, right? Like they could lose their regime and therefore lose their control over the thugs. So if I were to ask you, like, what, and timing is really hard with tarot, just like it is with any divination, but can you get a timing for how long the ICE thugs are going to be rampant?
How long will they be rampant, the ICE thugs? Well, there will be an immediate drawback there will be an immediate drawdown. Some forces, I don't think they're going to admit it, but there will be some that are told to pack up and go before, it's actually announced, and then they'll leave. Okay, so I'm getting the time of Taurus. So that's April.
I love April. I mean, I would love February.
I would love February too. I feel that they will be working on it, and there will be a drawdown. And now I have the Aries card.
Oh,
so
we like that too, because Aries is going into Aries is big energy. We're in Aries energy, so that's wow. Okay, yes, this is a really good point that people are making too, that these agents, the contract that they signed, they got this big bonus. We all heard about it, whatever, 50,000, 80,000, whatever it is, but they only get it paid. They get like 10,000 the first year, and then they get a bonus every year, but they're not getting health insurance, which I think is hilarious. I cannot believe that. And also, if they get fired for any reason, I mean, and these are Republicans, they fire people for any reason. Like, that's why they have to have the quota. They have to just lock up so many people. It doesn't matter. Now they have a quota of how many faces they scan into that software. If they don't meet their quota, then their contract is null and void. And not only do they not get the money, they have to pay it back. And not only do they have to pay it back, but because they're contractors, they have to pay their own taxes. So out of that $10,000, they only got $6,000, but they're going to have to pay the government back $10,000. So they're going to be out of $4,000 that they already paid for their taxes. And it's just, they're screwed, right? So another energy here is that's also pushing this whole thing towards them falling apart, is the agents are going to start catching on that they're never going to make that money.
No, they're not.
They're going to start quitting. As a matter of fact, I saw a video of an agent leaving in her truck, and she rolled her window down, and I think it was outside of the Whipple building, but she rolled her window down and said, "I quit." And everybody was cheering her. She said, "Yeah, F this." And she drove off, right? Like, so they're going to start quitting.
Yeah, I feel, and really, if you think about it, why would they follow through? You know, they're going to take a lot of that money for themselves. They're not going to pay the people. They never pay. Trump doesn't. No, they won't. They'll get upset and they'll end up. Thank you, Judy. They'll get upset and they'll end up, backing off. I mean, they don't follow through with anyone they say they're going to help. Farmers, nothing, nobody, ever. No. And so these ICE people are no different than anybody else.
Yeah. And it is true. It's like how Putin treats his army, right? Like, and also it's how Putin treats Ukraine. And this is what also 45 has already done. Oh, we're going to have a ceasefire. Everything is fine. And then he bombs 5 times more during the ceasefire. And this is what 45 does too. He makes a promise just to get you to relax, and then he does something, right? Yeah. But they're learning the lesson. These guys are learning the lesson. I've always gotten that they will be hunted and followed and investigated for their entire lives. Like, they're never going to sleep regularly again. They're never going to have a regular life because they're hiding the secret. And once somebody finds out, it could be 5 years from now, and you're playing darts and somebody finds out, they're going to be over there calling you in.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, they're actually trusting the Trump, people to pay them. It's just ridiculous.
And to protect them, but they're not going to be. No. They're not going to be protected. They're going to be holding the bag. These people always set you up to hold the bag.
That's correct. You're just doing their dirty work.
You're just doing their dirty work, right? Yeah, a lot of them are J6ers. A lot of them are the militia people that are now, a lot of them are white supremacists. Yep. I think some of them are from other countries.
Could be. KKK, a lot of militia.
A lot of militia. Yeah.
A lot of militia. Policemen.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. What does this say? There was an ad with a girl asking her ICE agent dad if he had a good day, and he flashbacks to the violence and gave her a hug. Oh my God. That's crazy.
It is.
He's going to be hugging a whole different thing.
People are still trusting Trump and Noam, and like they don't care. They don't care. They just want you to go do what you need to do, and they don't care if you get paid.
You're expendable.
Yeah, you are.
They don't even care if you live. They don't care anything.
No.
Yeah. And they're going to learn that lesson, and then they're going to learn the lesson. So some of those thugs, I feel like, are going to try to turn state's witness because they're going to try to make a deal, right? Because they know that they saw things and now they're complicit, or RICO, racketeering, and they're going to try to turn state's witness. But I don't, even if they do that, I don't see their communities. I don't see them going back to normal. They're going to have to hide this for the rest of their lives.
Yeah.
If they can.
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
They can try to hide their face right now, but they're going to find out. There's too many they'll be able to trace the people. They'll be able to.
Well, somebody said, and I think this is brilliant, use Palantir to trace them.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll just turn it around on you.
Turn it around.
Do you have any thoughts about the UK Prime Minister Is that Keir Starmer? Because he came to me like a month ago. They kept saying his name, and I'm like, I don't know why you're talking about him. Now we know why they're talking about him.
Will Keir Starmer step down? Well, I'll just ask, will he stay in power? He said he isn't going to. He wants to do good for the country, and he doesn't want to do it.
He doesn't want to step down?
The Keir Starmer stay in.
But you know what? I don't want a lot of things, but I don't want Trump, and I got that.
He's really freaked out. I mean, his freak is freaked. He's not sleeping. He is very afraid. He's hoping Trump can help him.
Oh, God.
He's been through a lot. He's arguing with people. He still has hope right now. He's still the star. He still has hope. He's still juggling. He's still hanging in there. He's they may just say you don't have a choice.
You got to go, sir. I think they're going to make him go personally. I think he's going to be made to step down, because the energy now is if you were anywhere connected to it, you're guilty by association. You don't even have to be guilty. We're going to throw all of it out. This is what the guide said a while back. It's like, this is ruined, but now I feel like everything is ruined, so I'm going to get rid of all of it. We're just going to be getting rid of things wholesale.
Wholesale. Oh boy, it's tough. We're going to have to really stay grounded and focus on helping each other and stocking the food banks, helping your neighbors, and really doing everything that we can to stick together and hang on through this.
Seriously, that's the best advice right there. Totally. Really, 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 totally. I have another question. Okay, let's talk about this. The question is, what WTF is really happening? You win the internet for having the best name on your YouTube account. Is the military going to help us? What I feel like, I want you to read on this as well, Lori, but I feel like they're not going to hurt us. I'm not sure they're going to help us. I'm not sure they're going to help us, but I don't think in the end they're going to attack us. Like, there could be some things that look like they are, because again, I see this administration using outside forces dressed as our military to do things, and it's not our military. So again, there might be one instance, but I don't see wholesale our military turning against us. What do you get, Maury?
Will our military stand with the citizens?
There you go.
The United States military stand with the citizens. Well, I mean, that's what they want to do.
They want to go back the way it was before they had to make a choice.
But it's over the top. They're being pushed. They're really being pushed.
Yeah.
It looks like they will suspend action. Like, they're not going to do anything. They're just going to say, we're not doing this and we're not doing that. We're not going to follow the advice of everything will be suspended for a period of time. And then they're going to wait for the government. They will stand with us.
Yeah, that's what I think too.
But everything comes to a standstill.
Right.
We're not doing this. We're going to wait for the government to talk. Yeah.
Right. This just came to me. So I totally agree with what you're saying. And I think that what they would agree to is doing something to another country. You know, if they can be convinced, they would do something to another country. Do you feel like the military could be involved in any way, shape, or form in Cuba?
Oh boy, that's the thing. And I'm like, why isn't mainstream media? Why not? Because that we've cut off the oil.
Because they're not mainstream media anymore. They're state media.
But I don't even think mine is. I don't even. I don't know who else is reporting on this or not reporting on it, but this is a big deal. I mean, if you guys Google it, this is a huge deal.
Yeah, I didn't know it until you told me, until right before we went live.
All right. Will the United States military invade Cuba? Will they go into Cuba for regime change or
In any way, shape, or form?
in any way, shape, or form? They will give aid, but they are not following a specific plan. This might be where they say, you know what? We're not fond of this idea. So this could be the tipping point.
Oh,
This could be the tipping point. They're going to want a vote from Congress because Congress is supposed to have the ability to say whether we go to war or we don't, or we invade or we don't. So it looks like they're going to say, we have to have a vote on this or we're not. We have to have a vote on this. We have to have a committee or people together to. So I think this is the tipping point.
yeah.
I think Cuba will be a deciding factor here.
Wow. That's all good news. This is all good news, I think. Lori says Canada is sending oil. Canada is sending oil to Mexico.
Mexico or Cuba?
Oh, maybe I'm sorry, to Cuba. To Cuba. I think that's what you're saying, Lori. I don't know. That's all you wrote, but that would be interesting.
Canada send oil to Cuba? Are they sending?
I mean, Canada right now, like, don't nobody mess with Canada. Okay, just do not do. Not recommend it.
I would.
Do not do it.
But I'm very concerned that Xi will cancel the contract that he signed with Canada.
Yeah, Trump. I am too.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not getting that if they do, there's some sort of talk here where they're saying we will help you. They're saying we will help you. But then there's a sword and there's a problem and a threat, and then it stops.
Ruh-roh. Okay. He could do it, y'all. He really could. I'm talking about the Orange Cretin. He could really mess Cuba up. That the guides have been talking about Cuba for 2 or 3 weeks, that he wants Cuba. And he is he knows his days are numbered, and he needs to go out with something. He didn't get the Peace Prize. He wants to go out kicking somebody. He's angry. He wants to attack something or somebody. And in a lot of ways, even though there's a lot of damage being done by the thugs to Minneapolis, in a lot of ways, Minneapolis is fighting back. He's not found anybody he can sucker punch and make fall down.
Right. You're so right. Yeah.
Interesting. You know what? Going back to Cuba, let's ask this question. Will Cuba have a regime change regardless of who's behind it? Will Cuba have a regime change in the next year?
And Canada may just send oil just to maybe get some of their own residents back or something like that for their airlines. I'm not sure. All right. So will Cuba have a regime change? Yes or no?
Just even under any circumstance.
On their own. Yeah. Even on their own.
Yeah. Even on their own. Or, I mean, there's probably going to be somebody involved, but.
There will be an uprising. People are not going to be happy about this. Yeah. A man goes out.
Yeah. I think they're going to have look, the bottom line is that Cuba represents a lot of money. A lot of money. It's so close to the United States. Think about all the tourism money. It's just worth too much money. Somebody's going to do a regime change, whether it's the CIA.
Big money.
Yep. Somebody's going to get it. I'm telling you. And I think, unfortunately, if it's done through, the Orange Cretin or his cronies, even if he's gone, then it's not, it's obviously it's not going to help Cubans, right? It's not. But I think there is a potential there where Cubans could like have that uprising Lori saw and actually do better. Maybe not have a whole democracy, but certainly do better.
Yeah, somebody has to go. And it could be that eclipse energy, that we're entering
That is
into.
also true.
Yeah.
And 6 months, remember, y'all, 6 months on either side of that after that eclipse. And you said the line actually goes west of Cuba, probably. The line that the eclipse travels, because you said it was west of the Keys.
It is just slightly west, yes.
And I wonder what, when you have astrocartography, you have 250 miles on either side of the line. So Cuba might be in that.
Sure. Yeah.
That means Cuba might be in that. And also Mar-a-Lago might be in that.
Oh, absolutely. Mar-a-Lago could be in it. Yeah. That's a real good question for Dabney. Maybe she can bring that graph with her. Right. Help us get a real good picture of the trajectory.
Because I'm fascinated by that line. Yeah. Because that's fascinating.
And how far on each side. Yeah.
Yes. Yes. So here's an interesting question by Rose Blue. There's hundreds of protesters right now clashing with ICE in Milan, Italy, because we sent ICE thugs to a foreign country. Because why not?
Did we do
did.
That? Okay.
Yes, we did. Okay. And not only that, we'll have to also talk about how Vance brought an entire plane full of food. He brought his own food. This is documented. I think it's because he's terrified of being poisoned.
Wow. Did he bring a couch too, or just?
I'm sure he did. Come on, he's got the food. He's going to bring a couch. Can you imagine the dignitaries covering the couches with plastic? Like, no, we can't. First of all, we have to glue everything down if 45 is near it because he's going to be pocketing it. And then secondly, his VP is going to be doing God knows what on our furniture.
I mean,
we're never going to survive this. Our reputation is history.
It's
over. It's over, y'all. We're just going to have to be like bottom rung for a while.
Yeah, like we turned into the mean girls and nobody's going to like us for a while.
We 100% did. 100% did. So
it'll take quite a while to build it back up again. But we
will. It'll be better, but that's because we're going to do it. We're going to be more involved in everything. Our school boards, everything.
Yeah, we'll pray with the monks tomorrow at 4:30 Eastern, and we'll raise our vibration. And there's way more of us than there are of the bad.
100%. Way more.
Yeah.
Way more. And thank you, Rose Blue, for that super chat. 100%. I think the thing that I think about the most, besides the obvious, is that we stay involved when we are in this like pause and when we have the new administration. We need to be just as involved because that's when we continue pushing for universal health care. We continue pushing for DEI to be reinstated. We continue pushing for environmental protections, women's rights back, right? LGBTQ rights back. We're going to get all that back, but only if we stay active and we continue screaming and shouting and protesting and just making sure that we never give a quarter. We can't give these people, we can't rest because I don't care who they are. We still need to ride them.
Yeah,
for sure.
But we will form our own protests, and we will win this. We're going to win it because they just went into, they went way over their skis, and it's just overreach, and he's just started too many problems. And even MAGA does not want Cuba or Venezuela or Argentina or any of this BS. They don't want any of it.
That's true.
Now the ICE people won't get paid their due, and then they're in trouble. So that's, it's all, get your popcorn ready, guys. Pop that popcorn. Put some cheese on it.
Put some cheese on it. Nice. All right.
Cheese on that
Get the
popcorn.
good popcorn with the cheese, y'all. Okay. My God, that is hilarious. I just want to say this before, I don't know when you have to go, but I want to say that the guides dropped this on me yesterday, and
Good.
it's so important to share with you. And that is, they said, look at how brave and courageous your people are being, because all the stuff that we didn't know. I mean, I didn't know, right? Like some of us thought golden showers were going to be the thing we heard about, right? And instead we're hearing about cannibalism. We're hearing about things that you just can't even imagine. All of that was happening under the surface, right? And if Kamala had won, it would have kept happening under the surface. All those victims would still be victims. They would still be being victimized. And because we chose the hard lesson, we're seeing the vileness, we're seeing the horridness, but we're also seeing it. And we're saying, my God, I'm so sorry this happened to you. We're witnessing the victims. We're validating what they went through, and we're going to fix it.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is us fixing this. Imagine if we didn't see it, we would never fix it. We would never get a chance to fix it. So
And
this is courageous.
it is very, and the truth about the Zorro Ranch, and then it'll just be like a thread, and they'll just start connecting, and we're going to be like, "Are you kidding me? Are you
Right.
kidding me?" It's that
Babies, toddlers. Look, and this just really incenses me. But there's this neurologist. I shared this on Threads, but there's a neurologist who's really famous. Who
big.
I think he's at UCLA, and he's not stepped down that I know of, and he's in the files, and he's saying how he used his research to understand how babies. I don't want to say too much because it's gross,
Yeah,
but
no,
anyway,
no,
he used his research to help this. Why is he still employed?
won't
Why
be
we
won't be
we
long.
should be in front of his house. We should be following him every. That's a monster. This man is a monster, right? So this is the stuff that we have to fight. This is what we have to fight. We have to say no. No, we're not going to look away. We're not going to let you guys just let monsters be monsters. We're not going to do that.
Nope, no monsters.
There's a lot of stories, lady, a lot of stories. This is why it's not going to stop. This energy is coming at us, whether we want it or not. It's not going to stop. They can't stop it. Obviously, look at the Royals. They couldn't stop it. If you don't think the corporation or whatever the firm, if you don't think the firm can't stop something from coming out, nothing is going to stop it. It's going to come out and come out and come out and come out. And until enough of us witness it, cry about it, hug each other and acknowledge that it's happening, then we can move on. Yeah, I think it is eugenics too.
And it will be the more ugly cry, but then we will be able to move on, and we'll
But
be
that's
able.
how you grieve.
It will.
We have to grieve, you guys. We have to go through all the stages of grief. We have to. If you don't do the work, you haven't learned the lesson, and we're not getting a pass. We can't just not learn the lesson this time. We have to learn it. So I'm not saying all of you guys to go out and watch or read or do anything. I'm just saying that to the degree that you can, witness it. And that even means that people in your family or maybe yourself have experienced abuse, and you talk about it and you allow somebody to witness it and you allow somebody to hold you. And even if it's over the internet, that's healing.
Yeah.
We're going to do it, everybody. We're going to do it together.
Yeah.
We're all here together.
And we will heal. We will heal, and we'll build back our reputation. But it's going to take a lot of work, but we're going to get it done. We're going to fix this.
And it's fun to fix something. I mean, think about how energizing it's going to be to find that politician that believes in universal health care, that you help get to Congress, that you help get to a place where they can do some things. I mean, we've got Jasmine Crockett, we've got AOC, we've got Bernie, we got Maxwell Frost, We got a lot of people that are
Yeah.
good, honest people. We got Tim Walz. I
Tell
think
me
he's amazing.
Oh, yeah. A lot of really good people coming up.
And I know people think that he could be doing more, but I'm telling you, he is, if he turned his National Guard against the feds, that is the insurrection. That triggers, that is the definition of the Insurrection Act. And then the military by law has to fight because that's in the Constitution. So Walz is over here trying to keep his people alive.
Yeah.
In this incredibly insane time. And he's been saying in the last week, he's been saying the world is watching, the world is watching. And you know when there's energy around something. And I kept saying, you all, he's saying this for a reason. There's energy here. Now we see that France and all these places, the UK, everybody is saying no. We're going to investigate. So he was saying the world is watching because the world is now taking steps.
And Mom Donnie will help in New York. I mean, we've got
Donnie, huge, right? Huge. And all these people that keep winning, like in Tarrant County in Texas, this person won a very red. So blue people keep winning, right? We just keep winning and winning and winning. And McConnell is close, if not already crossed over. And the governor Bashir gets to appoint. I mean, there's a fight about it. Congress says, the state Congress changed the rule about what the governor gets to do. But the governor, Bashir, said, it's in the state constitution. You can do whatever you want, but the Constitution says I get to appoint somebody.
Love him.
Another change is coming. You guys, it's going to be fast and furious. It really is.
Yeah. And then we're really going to celebrate. I mean, that's really going to be a celebration.
No kidding. I might celebrate just as much when he goes as when the Orange Cretin goes, because he sure has been a real big part of why this is happening.
He was a facilitator. Yep, he was definitely was a big vein, a big artery that started this mess. Yeah,
all the judges he kept getting, appointed in the Supreme Court, and just horrible. He's sick. Apparently, McConnell is sick and in a hospital and hasn't been visible or public. But when you're evil and mean, you live a long, that we always say good people die young, and he's too mean to die, and God knows this has all been proven true. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Lori. I really appreciate you coming on, and thank you for hosting me on your channel at the same time. If you guys are not subscribed, please subscribe to Lori. Also, she's got you got openings, right? She's a fantastic reader. My God, you guys go get a reading with Lori.
thewayofpositivechange.com.
thewayofpositivechange.com. I put it in the description. So her YouTube channel's in the description, also her website. But if you need help, please go see her. Also check out her channel, right? Because she does, you do regular readings that are so fascinating. I mean, I'm a fan, like for real. I'm like there.
Thank you.
I'm sad.
And we're all your fans. All of us. Yeah.
Well, you know what? We're a community. I do owe him that begrudgingly, that he brought us all here together, right? To support each other. So I'm so grateful for that. But you guys all take care, okay? Take really good care of yourselves, because we need you. You're loved. You're worthy. We're going to get through this.
And join the monks in their prayer, universal prayer, tomorrow, 1:30 Pacific, 4:30 Eastern.
And somebody asked how you do that. You just pray. You know what I mean? You just, wherever you are, maybe you're at work and you take 5 minutes and you go to the bathroom and, pray on the toilet. Probably a good place to pray. But, pray anytime too. Like, just, they could really use your prayers, right? So could all the people fighting for us. Pray for Minneapolis. Prayers work, you guys. They're not religious. They're not owned by any religion. This is energy that you're sending, right?
Yep.
Awesome. Thank you, Lori. Everybody take really good care. We'll see you next time. Bye.